Hi, my name is Josh Jones with the USA Writing Center. In my previous video, I showed you how to make a title page and a running head, and now I'm going to go over how to make a reference page. Okay, and the reference page goes after the content, but before the appendices. Okay, and I'm just using the paper that I set up earlier to show you an example. Okay, so normally it wouldn't go after the title or the cover page, but we'll just use this to show how it should look. Okay. So we just type references just in normal Times New Roman 12 font. We don't have to bold it or italicize it or anything. And then we go right below there, and the reference section is double spaced as well, okay? And so I'm going to do a popular one. This is just a journal article entry, it's got a few authors, okay? And I'm going to type it out. Okay, and for these, we only include the last name and the first initial, okay? And with multiple authors, APA has a few different rules, okay? And I'm going to go over those with you in just a moment. So if you're using for two authors in the text, you always list both, okay? So if it's like Jones and Smith, each time that you cite them, you include those two names. So you would say, according to Jones and Smith, in parentheses, 2007, and then insert your quotation or paraphrased source material. Okay. Now, if it is for 3 to 5 authors, you name all authors in the first citation, and then beginning with the second reference, name only the first author, then et al. Okay. So I'll show an example of that in the next video. But for this one, I am just going to use these authors. Oh, also, if you have multiple authors, like more than 5 or 6, you name up to 7 in your reference page. And for 8 or more, you simply list the first 6 followed by an ellipsis. Okay. And then the name of the last author. Okay. So in this case, we'll do 2006. Finish this. Now, one interesting thing about the APA titles in the reference page is we always write them in sentence case, okay? And that simply means lowercase on all the words after the first word, okay? Now, there are some exceptions, okay? Proper nouns have to be capitalized, as well as the first letter of the first word after a colon, okay? So if you insert a colon, you simply capitalize the first letter of the first word after that, okay? So I'm going to put the journal that this article was derived from, and page numbers, okay? And so that's just the numbers prior to this are simply the issue and the volume number, okay? So we're going to include the page numbers, 247 through 265. Okay, and for this one, you just include the retrieval information, so where you got it from online, okay? So I'm not going to fill out the whole thing. HTTP colon. Okay, basically you could just copy and paste the link from your browser and put it into this, okay? And it doesn't need a period at the end. Okay, now one thing I have to go back and do is we italicize the journal that it came from, as well as the volume number right here. So you'll notice the 43 is capitalized, but not the 3 in parentheses, okay? And once again, if you look at the title, it's all in lowercase, unless we had a proper noun or the first letter of the first word after a colon. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to double space it. And this part's really important. We just simply click double spacing. And I always check this, don't add space between paragraphs of same style, to reduce an extra space. Okay, and you can either use the ruler function to indent, or I simply just backspace and then I press return or enter, and then tab, okay? Each entry has to have a hanging indent, okay? Indentation. And so we go here and pull back over, and then you can start your next entry, okay? This is the most common entries that I've seen. These are journal articles online. Sometimes you will see the DOI information, okay, which is simply the digital object identifier, and usually this will be on the copyright page of the article, and they also ask that you use them for print sources if they are available, okay? So I'm going to do another popular entry, which is just a simple book entry with one author, okay? And I'm just going to write the author's name, and then once again we do the first initial, and then the year of publication, business, in Canada. And this is a good example because we have Canada, and you'll notice that it is capitalized, okay, but not the other letters. Okay, we just put a colon after the publication city, and then just whoever printed the book, which can be found on the inside of the book right as you turn over from the title page, okay? And then I just bring it back up, I indent it, okay? And for the books, I have to italicize the book title in this case, okay? So everything's good to go there. And then for these two, oh, and also this one's from Canada, but US states are abbreviated, okay? So this is just a different example. For both of these, if you were using these for in-text citations, you would simply, this is a good example to show you the use of et al, okay? So on the first entry, the Clark entry, the first one in the text would look like Clark. I'm just going to copy these and pull these down. Okay, so the first time that you use the entry, it would look like this, and then after that, they would all first and then after would look simply like Clark et al. 26. Okay, so after you list them the first time, you simply have to, you simply can use Clark and then et al. And if you'll note the use of the ampersand. So in the in-text citations, we use the ampersand. Now, if you use this in a sentence, you could use and. So if you said something like, according to Clark, Isaac Dunton, and Fraser Wells, okay, then you could use and as well. And right here, you would put your year, okay? So these are just some basic APA citations for your reference page. Most important thing to remember is the hanging indentation right here, okay, and then the use of sentence case in these, and also the way the year is, and also the lack of first names, okay. So these are a few takeaways. And in the next video, I'll go over some more in-text citations, including what to do with longer quotations, also known as block quotes, and how to insert a page number. We only insert page number in APA when we're using direct quotations. Once again, this is Josh from the Writing Center, and I hope to see you there.